Hello everyone, it's GigaBeef here, and today I'll be showing you why the Scar L is my favourite early white 5.56 weapon along with a build for level 2 traders. So firstly, why use 5.56 to begin with? The main reason is for M856A1 ammunition. Before this, M855 is okay, and it did get a buff to 30 pen this wipe, but the jump up to 37 penetration that 5.6A1 gives is enormous against class 4 armour. This is the primary type that we are concerned about in PvP and against some scavs in the early game. Moving up from 30 to 37 pen goes from a 9% chance with 8.55 to a 55% chance to penetrate with 5.6A1 at close range, which dramatically increases the chance of a 3-shot kill to the thorax and gives a decent chance of defeating class 4 helmets too, as well as class 3s at range. M856A1 itself is $3.89 a round, which is very affordable, similar to 545 PP at 354 rubles and cheaper than BP and BT at 514 and 694 rubles, whilst doing more damage than all of them with 54 starting versus 44, 45 and 42. Traditionally, the reason why 5.56 weapons were a bit slow to get going in a patch is that this ammo was locked behind Peacekeeper's Quest The Cult Part 1. But with the changes to Skier, Friend from the West Part 1, and opening up Peacekeeper's quest lines without needing to complete the flash drives task, even for standard account players now by the way, BSG changed it, this means that it is possible to get to 5.6A1 much more consistently than before. It has also been craftable for a while in the workbench too for about 400 rubles per round, so it's certainly accessible if you want to use it. So, onto the Scar L itself. The primary reason to use this weapon is the incredibly controllable recoil, much like the MDR, but it also has reduced horizontal recoil compared to most other weapons in the game, which we'll check out a little bit later on. There are two versions, the regular black and the FDE version, which are two distinct firearms within Tarkov's system, which you can see on the flea market, although all of the parts are totally interchangeable between these two guns. We'll be using the flea market to source our weapons because the trader scars simply cost too much, and the listings for the black scar typically consist of the long 18-inch barrel version at 100% durability from weapon boxes and the short 10-inch barrel versions from rogues with damaged durability which will need to be repaired. On the FDE side, these are almost all damaged and are a mix between the short 10-inch barrel and the medium 14-inch barrel versions. It is useful to bear in mind that Mechanic 2 has an FDE lower for 20k, which can be used to move all of the parts onto if you did want to cheaply get back to 100% durability on any pre-existing Scar L. As we go, we'll naturally be making a few comparisons to the MDR, which is the other typical early game favourite in 5.56, so here are the starting recoils in the default configuration for the different Scar barrel variants and the MDR. So let's mod one of these guns. We'll use the long barrel version for the moment just because it's 100% durability on the flea usually, so has the least messing about, but this pretty much applies to all of them. Much like the MDR, the Scar L doesn't really need much to make it good. I always remove the front and rear sights as they don't give any stats themselves, and use something like an L-can, but you can pick whatever optic you want. As this is not a high level build, we won't be replacing the bottom rail with the MREX as this is Skier 3, but one thing that we can do is add the PWS SRX rail extension. This costs 9,000 rubles from Skier 2, but it gives you 5 extra ergonomics, which is pretty decent. One small thing to mention is this doesn't fit if you're using the shortest barrel. Next, we'll add whatever foregrip that you have access to. The RK4 is not a bad choice at Skier 2 as it removes 2% recoil and gives 4 ergo with it. Now for muzzles, this is where the build really shines. Typically the Scar struggles on ergonomics in general, but has amazing handling, so we can circumvent this partly by using the Mini Monster. With an SF3P flash hider first from Mechanic 2, this is by far the least ergo reducing suppressor in the game, only taking away 7. Of course, the recoil benefits from this are also diminished, but on the Scar we don't really need it as much as other weapons due to the way the gun handles on full auto. The Mini Monster can either be picked up on the flea or bartered with Skier 2 for a VHS tape, the Cyborg Killer one, meaning it's usually accessible for around 40,000 rubles. Stick on a laser and you're good to go. The other part that you might want to add from level 2 traders is upgrading the grip to an MIAD pistol grip from Peacekeeper for an extra 3 ergonomics on the cheap. Unfortunately there isn't a black version here, so it kind of ruins the aesthetic if you aren't using the FDE Scar, but it is what it is. Ideally you can pick up a Scar for 60 to 70k either directly with 100% durability or buying one at 50k and replacing the lower with Mechanic if you don't want to deal with durability lower than about 95. We spend 7k on the muzzle and 40k on the suppressor, with 9k on the rail extension, 9 and 4k on a new foregrip and pistol grip, and 6k on a laser. Together this costs around 135k, and you need to pick an optic. This is comparable to the MDR's 55k for the base weapon, 47k for the same suppressor and muzzle, 6k for the cheaper ergo foregrip because the MDR doesn't really need the recoil plus the rail that goes with it, and 8k for a laser and rail. This is 116k, so only about 20k less. You could forgo the rail extension and pistol grip or buy a cheaper foregrip if you wanted to save some money on the Scar too. Building out each style gets to the following stats. So let's check what difference this actually makes in raid. Firstly, looking at ADS speed, we can see that the MDR does win overall, but not by that much, especially when using the short or medium barrels. It does feel snappy compared to the long version, however. In terms of the recoil itself, all three versions are pretty close in performance, with the long barrel matching the MDR on vertical recoil jump. As all of these weapons have the same rate of fire and handling, the recoil is actually comparable between them for once. However, the main benefit of the Scar appears at slightly longer ranges. This test is the medium barrel version against the MDR, and even at this short distance away you can see the dramatically improved horizontal recoil that you get from the Scar platform. This simply cannot be bought on the MDR, so the choice is between a small cost reduction and slightly snappier aiming speed when using the MDR versus a big buff to horizontal recoil when in full auto on the Scar. Horizontal recoil is typically the hardest type of recoil to control, as it evenly bounces left and right with no pattern, so in theory at least this feature of the Scar L should make it superior in general combat. Next, let's take a look at a few raids to see how it performed. Picture in picture is a bit of a mess. The problem is we kind of want PvP, but you also want to stop dying immediately within like the first 3 seconds of the raid. We're not even going in resort or anything. Maybe it was just a scav laugh. Oh, we have to. Oh no, we have to sit here. Oh, the skier. I guess we'll go down to pier. Well, we'll go up to where I usually go, which is up kind of towards power. I've killed this guy already. At least I think it's down up here. This combo feels really nice actually. Scar plus the Alcan. It feels really good, really stable. Can it be seen from behind? Not really, so it's relatively safe. Come on, make it over to the gas station then. There he is. They're very similar, but the horizontal recoil, as I said, you can't buy the horizontal recoil on the MDR, which I do think it is quite a big factor, a big plus point for the Scar. It's one of the reasons why it feels so good to fire. Okay, that definitely is here, isn't it? Now, unless there's somebody really wedged in a bush. Oh, no, they're here. Question is, how did they die? God, like that. Yeah, I really thought there was somebody like over there. Not sure. Right, what we're gonna do, we'll try to approach. I'm still slightly wondering where that guy was. Well, it could have been down here, I was thinking. I'm thinking we just like launch across into here. Like that. I'm gonna have to go into the do you feel like we're chasing shadows a little bit? Interesting. Interesting. Oh. Somebody's like right there. Whoops. Been chasing after this guy for ages. I don't know where he hid. I didn't hear him at all either. I didn't hear him one bit. Oh, he's really high level. Relatively. And there. Ah, I can't take that, can I? Not big enough bag. Can I flatten something down? I don't think so. No, I can't. That's awkward, isn't it? How's it going, Beef? Going alright. Got capturing outpost active. Maybe that's what this guy was doing. Who knows? It's no biggie. So we just take all the stuff. Just take the laser, take the light. Yeah, okay, we're heavy now. As always. Every time, we just end up like enormously heavy. Well, this is also awful. Do the mark thing? Yes, exactly. See, lost out on Punisher there. Who's this guy? Contacts. Okay. I guess we'll take these and then some of these. Alright, let's keep going. Not expecting that dude to be there. I know, and then we would have been on 9 out of 10. Good luck on the extract. Thank you. I said this last time. We need to start bringing mules. We actually need to. Really do. I remember somebody talking about it and they were like, the only thing that's better than hearing a landmine go off is hearing the next one go off like 1 minute later. So next up, go and check out my video on the best armor to pair with the early wipe at different stages of progression, including a brand new rig with patch 13. Otherwise, as usual, a big shout out to all my patrons. Hit all the buttons if you enjoyed the video, and as always, have fun in your raids.